Assalamu alaikum. Today we are continuing our lecture in fuels and energy, and today is the topic of biomass energy and thermochemical conversion of biomass. Lecture 11. This means that in this topic we will cover two aspects. One aspect would be the biomass energy. What is biomass? The energy created from it and how it can be used. And the second aspect is thermochemical conversion of biomass. There are multiple ways of converting biomass into energy. हमारा एंड गोल क्या होता है? हमारा एंड गोल होता है कि हमारा जो भी फ्यूल है उसको हम एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करें, उसके यूज बनाएं. बायोमास जो हमारा है वो हमारा फ्यूल है, मगर बायोमास क्यों कहलाता है अभी उसकी बात करेंगे. सो बायोमास इज जस्ट अ फ्यूल एंड आवर एंड गोल इज टू convert this fuel into energy. And there are multiple methods for converting the fuel into energy, and one of those major methods are the thermochemical conversions of biomass. That is our second portion in this presentation. At the end of this lecture, a student should be able to know the concept of biomass, including its production, which means that what is biomass, how is it created, what are the sources of biomass, that is number two, the merits and demerits of biomass, biomass as a source of energy. Lastly, the thermochemical conversion process of biomass. What is biomass? The question arises that what exactly is biomass? We have heard this term multiple times in the course, biomass. In, in short, biomass is any type of organic matter, यानी कोई भी ऐसा organic matter हो जिसमें carbon elements हो. Examples are wood, crops, seaweed and animal waste. It has the element C. It's organic in nature. That can be used as a source of energy. So there are two conditions for biomass. Number one, it should be an organic source. It is any type of organic matter. Number two, it should be a source of energy. When these two things combine together, we say that this is biomass. It is guessed by scientists that biomass probably is the oldest source of energy after the sun. This is just a guess, but if we guess that biomass is the source of energy after the sun was the first source of energy, and after that biomass became a source of energy. It has always been present because we know that biomass, or I will tell you that biomass comes from plant productions, and plants were created after the sun. But the problem is that it wasn't discovered as a source. It is just discovered as a source recently, but it has always been there. Since thousands of years, people have burnt wood to heat their homes and cook their food. Unconsciously, since the time that fire was evolved, and people learned how to use it and cook the wood. Unconsciously, they have been using biomass to cook their food and a source of energy. But only we have discovered that now. यानी हम बहुत अरसे से बायोमास को यूज कर रहे हैं as a fuel. Originally, biomass gets its energy from the sun. This is a very important statement. All biomass will get its energy from the sun. How? We will discuss it in this slide. And all organic matter contains stored energy obtained from the sun. आपका जो भी organic matter हो, be it animal organic matter or plant organic matter, the source of energy comes from the sun. Now look, how can I say that the source of energy comes from the sun? Take a simple example. Plants, they photosynthesize. So photosynthesis is the first source of biomass production. But plants take the energy from the sun, they grow, they die. So all plant matter has originally come from the sun directly. Now, but when we talk about animal biomass, let's take the example of cow dung. Cow dung is a source of animal biomass. Indirectly, it has come from the sun. How? Cow dung has come from cow, a living organism, an animal. What did that animal do? That animal, to grow, ate plants. And plants, what did they do? They photosynthesized, they took the energy from the sun. So, indirectly, that biomass which was produced from cow dung, or that biomass which is produced after an organism dies, a living organism, be it an animal, be it a plant, the ultimate source or the first source of energy comes from the sun. So hence it is correct to say, ये कहना सही है कि तमाम organic matter contains stored energy which is originally obtained from the sun. So like I mentioned before, that photosynthesis is the first process in the production of biomass. So during the process of photosynthesis, sunlight will give plants the energy they require to convert water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and sugars. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a plant which gives photosynthesis is a process which gives plants the energy to survive. How? Carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere plus water in the atmosphere. And the third major component is sunlight. This sunlight is the energy from the sun that we talk about, that sunlight is the source of energy for the biomass. These three components, there is a reaction which takes place, which is called photosynthesis. It will produce oxygen and sugars. Oxygen is needed for plant to survive. And sugars, it grows from sugars because sugars provide the cellulose wall. It provides production to the plant. It provides energy to the plant. So that is why we say that photosynthesis is the first step of biomass production. Now this is a simple process of photosynthesis. You can see that photosynthesis, the sunlight is directly affecting the plants. The plants will grow. Ultimately, the plants will die. And after they die, that is the organic matter composed in them that can be used as a source of energy. यानी ये plant matter हम use करते हैं as a source of energy. In the process of photosynthesis, plants will convert the radiant energy, which is the heat energy, from the sun into chemical energy. That is the stored form of energy in the form of glucose or sugar. Then this energy is used elsewhere by organisms, etc., and they die. This is the main process of photosynthesis which you should know. You should know the balanced equation of photosynthesis. That photosynthesis is nothing but water plus carbon dioxide plus sunlight, and sunlight is the source of radiant energy. What will it give? It will give glucose, simplest sugar, C6H12O6, and oxygen. Further, carbohydrates, the polysaccharides, cellulose, starch, they are made from simple sugars. But this is the simple basic block for the growth of a plant. The sugars produced are called carbohydrates, and they supply both the plants and animals that eat the plants with energy. Once this sugar has been produced, when the plants plants, they gain their energy from their carbohydrates, and when the animals eat the plants, they will obtain their energy from these carbohydrates. And how are these carbohydrates made? From the sun. यानी ओरिजिनली तो कार्बोहाइड्रेट हमारे सन से बने थे ना. That is why we say that every source of biomass, or in short, every organism, because when the organism dies, it will have a source of biomass, ultimately depends upon the sun. The foods which are rich in carbohydrates are a good source of energy for the human body. Biomass is a renewable energy. That is one of the most important merit of biomass. It is a renewable energy because its supplies are not limited. There are thousands of supplies, countless supplies of biomass. You have trees, you have waste, you have paper, you have sawdust, you have landfill gases, you have cow dung, tons and tons of supplies. तो बायोमास जो हमारा होता है ना, वो रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी सोर्स होता है. Trees and crops can always be grown and waste will always exist. Waste is always present and waste is a source of biomass. Trees and crops can be grown. Yes, I am not saying that the same proportion would be there. Trees and crops take a long time to grow. It might take ages. The carbon balance is disrupted. Yes, that is a problem. But at least we have a source of biomass. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि हमारा बायोमास का सोर्स खत्म हो गया है. All fossil fuels, be it coal, gas, oil, A, they take millions of years to form. B, they will be extinct one day. The day the fossil fuels, the non-renewable fuel, deplete, how will we wait millions of years for their production? It's not possible. That is not the problem with biomass. It is a source of renewable energy and hence it is not limited. Biggest advantage. Moving forward. In this simple diagram, I show you the biomass process and it is a repeated cycle. You can see that again the first process is photosynthesis. The sun reacts with water and in the atmosphere there is carbon dioxide. The reaction of photosynthesis takes place. Plants, they take these three substances, the carbon dioxide, the energy from the sun and the water, they feed on them. They produce oxygen. They produce carbohydrates. That is their source of energy. Plants will grow. A day comes when the plants die. Or if they do not die, they are cut down. When they are cut down, the stored energy in them in the form of biomass, because they had organic matter, that energy is used as a fuel for heating purposes, cooking purposes, and to provide energy purposes. So when that biomass is heated over here or it is used in factories or some other source, obviously if it's burning, that is combustion. One of the elements of combustion release is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is released again in the atmosphere. Then the cycle continues that the carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere will again react with water and the sun to produce photosynthesis and we have the whole cycle continuously going on. यानी हमारा जो पूरा बायोमास का जो cycle है biomass production from photosynthesis till the production of energy, it carries on. That was one section of the production of biomass. Then we come to the source of biomass. तमाम biomass जो होता है या all biomass which is present falls in 4 major categories. Number 1, it is the wood and agricultural products. Number 2 is the solid waste. Number 3 is the landfill gas and the biogas. And then we have alcohol fuels like ethanol and biodiesel. The first source of biomass is wood and agricultural product. Wood is the largest source of biomass. Trees are present. We can wood, bark, sawdust, logs, and chips. They all come from trees. And you can see that they account for almost 44% of the biomass energy, which is nearly half of the energy produced by a biomass is simply coming from the wood. Hence, we say it is the largest source of biomass. However, it must be known that any organic matter can produce biomass energy. यानी ये लाजमी नहीं है कि wood ही biomass energy produce करेगा. कोई भी organic matter हो, वो biomass energy produce कर सकता है. Different other biomass sources which come under this category are agricultural products like fruit pits and corn cobs. Corn cobs yani butta. These also produce the biomass energy. Wood and wood waste are used to generate electricity. Examples include paper mills and sawmills. Paper and saw, they come directly from wood. They use the waste to generate steam and electricity because you want to use maximum resources without wasting. Then we come on to the second source of biomass, the solid waste. Burning trash turns waste into useful form of energy. When you burn trash, which is waste, you get a useful form of energy. And power plants which burn garbage for energy are called waste to energy plants. Their function is to convert your waste into energy. These plants will generate electricity from waste, which is a source of biomass similar to coal-fired plants. The only difference of these power plants is that in this combustible waste is used to fire the boilers and not coal. Combustible waste, the waste that can be combusted and then produce energy. Landfill gas and biogas. Bacteria and fungi eat dead plants and animals, causing them to rot and decay. जब आपका एक organism मर जाता है, तो fungi and bacteria act on them. They cause them to rot and decay. A fungus on a rotting log. ऐसा एक log है ना जो source of biomass है. Log अभी मैंने आपको कहा ना wood है. Wood is a source of biomass. जब एक फंगस एक रॉटिंग लॉग पे एक्ट करेगी तो क्या होगा, जो सेल्यूलोज वो उस लॉग के ऊपर जो सेल्यूलोज है उसको शुगर्स में कन्वर्ट करेगी टू फीड इटसेल्फ. इट मींस इट एक्ट्स ऑन देम. इवन दो दिस प्रोसेस इज स्लोड इन अ लैंडफिल. लैंडफिल का पर्पस क्या होता है? वैसे पहले मैं आपको बताऊं लैंडफिल क्या होती है. लैंडफिल एक जगह होती है जहां पर यू डिस्पोज योर वेस्ट. आपकी तमाम वेस्ट आप उस लैंडफिल में कलेक्ट करते हो और वहां पर उसको बर्न करते हो. दैट एरिया इज नोन एज द लैंडफिल. सो इवन दो दिस प्रोसेस इज स्लोड इन लैंडफिल, ये जो आपकी डीकेइंग प्रोसेस है, a substance called the methane gas is still formed as the waste will decay. मीथेन गैस प्रोड्यूस होती है जब वेस्ट डिके होती है. आपने मीथेन गैस को कम करने के लिए ये प्रोसेस लैंडफिल में की है, मगर हमेशा कोई ना कोई मीथेन गैस डीके की वजह से क्रिएट होती है. द मीथेन गैस इज कलरलेस एंड ओडरलेस, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इज हार्मफुल. योर मीथेन गैस इज कलरलेस एंड ओडरलेस. मीथेन का कोई कलर नहीं होगा, इट विल बी ओडरलेस, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इज हार्मफुल. It is harmful. The gas can cause fire or explosions. The gas can cause fire. The gas can cause fire or explosion if it seeps in the nearby homes and is ignited. Landfills collect the methane gas and purify it and use it as a fuel. Landfills collect the methane gas and purify it as the fuel. मीथेन इज ऑल्सो रिजल्टेड फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चर एंड ह्यूमन वेस्ट. यानी आपकी जो मीथेन होती है, आपकी जो मीथेन होती है, इट इज ऑल्सो रिजल्टेड फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चर एंड ह्यूमन वेस्ट. टॉक्सिक होती है. बायोगैस कंटेन्स द एयर टाइट कंटेनर्स एंड वेस्ट टू पुट इन दीज कंटेनर्स. हमारे पास दो तरह की गैसेस होती हैं. एक आपकी है लैंडफिल गैस जो लैंडफिल से बनती है. दूसरी आपकी बायोगैस है. बायोगैस कैसे बनती है? बायोगैस कंटेनर्स में बनती है, एयर टाइट कंटेनर्स में, यानी एनएरोबिक कंडीशंस में बनती है बायोगैस. किस तरह? आपकी ये जो वेस्ट है ये कंटेनर्स में पुट होती है और ये फर्मेंट होती है अंडर एनारोबिक कंडीशन टू प्रोड्यूस रिच गैस। ये जो मीथेन रिच गैस, ये जो बायोगैस है ना, ये या एनिमल सोर्सेस से बनती है, हमने काउस के साथ देखा था, या ये वेस्ट से बनती है। मगर जो ये होती है ये मीथेन रिच गैस होती है। मगर इसका डिफरेंस क्या है कंपेयर्ड विथ लैंडफिल गैस और अदर गैसेस? The difference is that biogas will always be made under an aerobic condition. Please do not forget that. That is the main difference. That biomass is fermentation under anaerobic conditions. So this gas is used to produce electricity and for domestic purposes. This biogas is used for electricity and domestic purposes like cooking and lighting. So the two gases that we obtained are a source of biomass because they are ultimately obtained from biomass to produce energy. Landfill gas and biogas. Lastly, we have ethanol or liquid fuels. Ethanol is an alcohol fuel made by fermenting the sugar and starches found in plants and distilling them. आपके पास जो शुगर एंड स्टार्चेस हैं जो प्लांट्स के अंदर, आप उनको डिस्टिल करते हो टू प्रोड्यूस दिस लिक्विड फ्यूल. Any organic matter which contains cellulose, starch or sugar can be made into ethanol. Today, gasoline sold contains ethanol as a fuel and is being used in the first world countries such as USA. It is a substituent for liquid fuel. Similarly, biodiesel. Biodiesel is a fuel made by chemically reacting alcohol with vegetable oil, animal fats or greases. आपका जो बायोडीजल होता है वो एक फ्यूल होता है जो केमिकली आप रिएक्ट करते हो अल्कोहल से, वेजिटेबल ऑयल से, एनिमल फैट्स या ग्रीसेस से. ये डीजल के साथ मिक्स होता है और इसका जो मेन सोर्स है दैट इज फ्रॉम सोयाबीन सीड. The biggest advantage is they contain no sulfur, hence it reduces sulfur levels in a nation's diesel fuel supply. डीजल आपका पेट्रोलियम रिफाइनरी का एक कंपोनेंट होता है, पेट्रोल से बड़ा होता है. इट इज यूज्ड फॉर डीजल इंजन्स. द प्रॉब्लम विद डीजल इज the main problem, it contains sulfur and this sulfur must be removed. The sulfur must be removed because sulfur is the main problem of diesel which affects the cetane number. What is the cetane number? That is for another day or for petroleum refinery. But आपको आपका सीटेन नंबर अच्छा चाहिए. अब उस सीटेन नंबर के लिए सल्फर नहीं होना चाहिए और बायोडीजल का एडवांटेज ही ये है कि ये सल्फर फ्री होता है. Hence, it is a good fuel. Now in this picture, I have shown you the major source of biomass and you can see that biomass sources does not come apart from these four. All these categories fall in four main core sources. They are agricultural crops and residues, the sewage waste, the municipal solid waste. This municipal solid waste is the one which is dumped in landfills and burnt, where you get landfill gas. Then you have animal residues. Animal residues are a good source of biomass and biogas is made from animal residue. Industrial residue, factories. Lastly, you have forestry, crops and residues. You cut down the forests. So you can see the main sources of biomass and you can write a note on them. Now let us talk about the merits and demerits of biomass energy. बायोमास एक सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी होता है और हर चीज की तरह उसके भी एडवांटेजेस और डिसएडवांटेजेस होंगे. The advantages of biomass energy include, these are the advantages: less waste goes to the landfill. If less waste goes to the landfill, what happens? Can be used. Energy can be used. Less is wasted. It is relatively cheap. Biomass is a source of cheap energy. Abundant supply. There are countless sources of biomass. You name it, I showed you so many supplies of biomass, different sources. Probably the most important merit of biomass energy is it is a renewable source of energy. It will never deplete. It does not produce sulfur or mercury. Biomass as a source of energy is a clean energy. Fuel contain natural renewable resource, non-renewable resources, coal, oil, gas, they can contain sulfur. They can contain other toxins. So biomass is good in that way. Biomass energy can be produced in own homes. We do not need to depend on others to produce biomass as a source of energy. Lastly, bio oils can be used in plastics and medicine. As we move forward, I will show you what bio oil is. मगर ये जो बायो ऑयल होता है ना, ये कॉस्मेटिक्स के अंदर यूज हो सकता है, मेडिसिन में यूज हो सकता है, प्लास्टिक्स में यूज हो सकता है. So bio oil is a good source and can be used in other places. मगर disadvantages क्या हैं biomass of energy? Biomass also has some demerits. The energy, trees are being cut down. When trees are cut down, you are calling for other natural disasters. Deforestation can result in flooding. It can result in flooding. It can result in wildlife extinction. These are the drawbacks of cutting trees. Crops grown to be burned for energy take a lot of space. आप जो क्रॉप्स बर्न करते हैं ना एज अ सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी, इसको कहीं रखने के लिए बहुत सारी जगह चाहिए होती है. एंड दैट लैंड कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर अदर रीजंस. इट कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर क्रिएटिंग होम्स. So you are depriving people to live elsewhere or not have homes by keeping crops. Big gangs do that, big businesses. So that is a disadvantage, that the space which can be used for other more important things, that is being used for storing biomass. Burning of biomass will result in production of carbon dioxide, which affects the ozone layer, resulting in climatic changes. Carbon dioxide is the chief constituent of the greenhouse gas. तमाम ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज में जो सबसे ज्यादा खतरनाक होती है वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड होती है, हाईएस्ट प्रोपोर्शन में. when the carbon dioxide escapes and goes as a source of greenhouse gas, it affects the ozone layer. ozone layer आपकी डिप्लीट होती है. once the ozone layer is depleted, it brings abrupt changes in climate. So it causes irregular fluctuations in temperature. The cold regions become warmer, the warm regions become even more warmer. Haphazard flooding happens, snowing happens. There are disruptive changes. So that is a disadvantage of biomass. Lastly, biomass when burnt releases carbon monoxide, and that is a toxic gas. So biomass is a source of air pollution. So these were the demerits of biomass energy and the merits. अच्छा, अब हम रिलेट करते हैं बायोमास विथ एनर्जी. हमें बायोमास मिल गया, हमने बायोमास के सोर्सेज देख लिए, हमने बायोमास का प्रोडक्शन देख लिया. अब बायोमास को डील करते हैं एनर्जी के साथ. बायोमास फीडस्टॉक कैन बी यूज्ड टू क्रिएट 3 टाइप्स ऑफ एनर्जी. ये देख लें कि जब आप बायोमास यूज करते हैं आपको 3 तरह की एनर्जी मिल सकती हैं. एक आपका हीट है, दूसरी आपकी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, एंड द थर्ड इज बायोफ्यूल सच एज बायोडीजल. सम प्लांट्स प्रोड्यूस बोथ हीट एंड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी टुगेदर. कुछ प्लांट्स होते हैं विच प्रोड्यूस हीट एंड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी टुगेदर, एंड दे आर नोन एज combined heat and power plants, the CHP. Their function is they produce the heat and electricity together. Biomass plants create heat by simply burning the feedstock. आपका जो feedstock है, अगर आप उसको burn करोगे तो आप heat produce कर लोगे. In other words, you are combusting them. Combustion provides heat and light. It's a form of burning energy. जब कंबशन कर रहे होते हो, बर्निंग कर रहे होते हो, तो क्या हो रहा होता है? कंबशन इज ऑलवेज एन exothermic reaction, and exothermic reaction does what? It produces heat. So biomass can generate electricity in a number of ways, but the most common method is direct combustion. तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आप प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हो बायोमास के जरिए, बट द मोस्ट कॉमन मेथड इज कि आप डायरेक्ट कंबशन करो. दिस मीन्स बाय बर्निंग द एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्ट और वुड. जो आपका बायोमास सोर्स है ना, एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्ट या वुड, you heat to heat, and when you heat it you produce water. So heat water, thus producing steam, क्योंकि one of the components of combustion is steam, and this steam spins the turbines and produces electricity. So the steam that you have produced by burning the biomass can be used to produce electricity. So in short, electricity can be produced from biomass by directly combustion. Combustion produces carbon dioxide and water. Water is in vapor form, which means that water is in the form of steam. That steam is used directly in the turbine, and the turbine produces energy in the form of electricity. In some biomass plants, the extra steam produced, कभी कभार आपका जो एक्स्ट्रा स्टीम जो प्रोड्यूस होती है वो फर्दर हीटिंग पर्पसेस के लिए यूज हो सकती है. यानी आप वेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हो, आप उसी एक्स्ट्रा स्टीम को रीयूज कर रहे हो हीट के लिए, तो आपकी जो प्रोसेस है वो इवन मोर एनर्जी एफिशिएंट है. एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट industries look for, to make the process maximize the efficiency as much as possible. Two things are in the mind of an industry while working on a process: economics and efficiency. Your process should be as efficient as possible and as cheap as possible. That is the goal for every industry, and what differentiates a good industry from an average industry. Biofuels are described as the fuels made up from biomass. Biofuels वो fuel होते हैं जो biomass से बनते हैं, and biofuels can be of three types, all three types: the solid, liquid or gas. Two of the most commonest fuels जो biofuels हैं, they were discussed as bioethanol and biodiesel. Both are used in vehicles, and bioethanol has a long history. Bioethanol was even used to light lamps in the past. आपके लैंप्स होते थे ना, अब तो लाइटें आ गई हैं, लैंप्स नहीं यूज होते, मगर एक जमाने में आप लैंप्स यूज करते थे, ऑयल लैंप्स. दोस ऑयल लैंप्स हैड bioethanol in them. Now we will deal with the second part of our presentation, which is converting biomass to energy. आपने बायोमास ले लिया, अब आप उस बायोमास को एनर्जी में बनाओगे, बिकॉज दैट इज योर अल्टीमेट गोल. चार मेन प्रोसेसेस होती हैं टू कन्वर्ट बायोमास टू एनर्जी. प्लीज टेक अ लुक एट देम एंड द डिफरेंस. The first is the direct combustion to produce heat. The second is what we will cover in the coming slides: thermochemical conversion to produce biomass, to produce energy. What I want you to know is thermochemical conversion. What comes in your mind? Temperature. This process is to do with the heat. The third is the chemical conversion of. The fourth is the biological conversion. Also look at the products with each of them, because this will come again later. Direct combustion produces heat as the major product. Thermochemical conversion produces all three types: solid, liquid and gaseous fuels. Chemical conversion, liquid fuels. And biological conversion is for liquid and gaseous fuels. सही है? Direct combustion is the most common method to convert biomass to useful energy. The most common and the most used method. Thermochemical conversion of biomass includes pyrolysis and gasification. थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन के अंदर जो हमारी दो मेन प्रोसेसेस होती हैं, एक pyrolysis होती है, एक gasification होती है. We have done both in details, but I will still give you some words over here. Gasification we did for syngas production, and I talked about the gasifiers in one of the previous lectures. And for pyrolysis, I told you that the main condition of pyrolysis is anaerobic conditions. Please do not forget that. Pyrolysis anaerobic condition में होती है absence of oxygen में. And when we were taught HTC and LTC, high thermal carbonization and low thermal carbonization of coal to coke, उस वक्त मैंने पैरालिसिस का जिक्र किया था और मैंने कहा था कि इट इज अंडर एन एरोबिक कंडीशन, दिस प्रोसेस ऑफ पैरालिसिस. सो प्लीज गो ओवर दैट. The above two processes are both thermal decomposition processes in which the biomass feedstock material is heated in a closed pressurized vessel called the gasifier at high temperature. The temperature is always high in the gasifiers. The main difference arises in the process temperature. Gasifier का temperature high होता है, and the amount of oxygen present during the conversion process. Gasifiers के अंदर there is some amount of oxygen. Pyrolysis के अंदर there is no oxygen. याद रखिएगा, pyrolysis is always under the absence of oxygen. तो मैंने आपको इस कोर्स में, in this course, there are 3 instances where so far I've taught you about the absence of oxygen. Number 1 was biogas production. Sorry, number 2 was the production of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels have occurred. Production of coal dekh le. When we are producing coal at the top layer it was produced under aerobic conditions jahan par oxygen tha. But as you went below the surface, the level of oxygen depleted and the formation of fossil fuel was taking place under anaerobic condition. The second place was the biogas production, anaerobic condition. The third place was pyrolysis or कार्बनाइजेशन. इधर जो हम करते हैं, हम एनाएरोबिक कंडीशंस यूज करते हैं. तो ये 3 जगह हैं which are used for anaerobic conditions. So thermochemical conversion of biomass, again we will further go on them. This is just intro. Pyrolysis, hydrotreating and gasification. Pyrolysis is heating of the organic matter up to 400 to 500 degrees Celsius in near complete absence of free oxygen. Hence the conditions are anaerobic. Clearly आपको बता दिया गया है कि pyrolysis anaerobic conditions में होगा. ऑक्सीजन आप यूज नहीं कर सकते हो pyrolysis के लिए. Biomass pyrolysis produces fuels like charcoal, bio oil, renewable diesel, मीथेन एंड हाइड्रोजन. ये वही बात है जो मैं कर रहा था कि थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन प्रोड्यूसेस ऑल 3 टाइप्स ऑफ फ्यूल्स. लुक एट दिस. चारकोल, वन टाइप ऑफ फ्यूल, सॉलिड फ्यूल. बायो ऑयल, लिक्विड फ्यूल. रिन्यूएबल डीजल, लिक्विड फ्यूल. मीथेन, गैस. हाइड्रोजन, गैस. What pyrolysis depends upon is the type of pyrolysis, the temperature of pyrolysis and the condition you're using. What I mean to say is, as we move forward, there are different types of pyrolysis. There is the fast pyrolysis, there is the slow pyrolysis, there is the flash pyrolysis. The main product depends upon the type of pyrolysis that you're using. कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि कौन सी pyrolysis की प्रोसेस आप कर रहे हो, आपको वो डिटरमिन करेगा कि आपका मेन प्रोडक्ट लिक्विड है या आपका मेन प्रोडक्ट सॉलिड है और को प्रोडक्ट में आपको क्या मिल रहा है. मगर तीनों प्रोडक्ट आपको कुछ ना कुछ क्वांटिटी में मिलेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आप स्लो पायरोलिसिस की बात कर रहे हो, आपका मेन प्रोडक्ट सॉलिड होगा. अगर आप फास्ट पायरोलिसिस की बात कर रहे हो तो आपका मेन प्रोडक्ट लिक्विड होगा. कैसे होगा वो अभी हम देखते हैं. देन वी हैव हाइड्रो ट्रीटिंग. Hydrotreating is used to process. to process the bio oil produced by fast pyrolysis. Look, fast pyrolysis produces bio oil. It has to be hydrotreated, and why hydrotreated? I will discuss when I do the bio oil, because bio oil cannot be used unless it is hydrotreated. It has some problems. The problems of bio oil is it has excess of water, it has oxygen, it has acid in it. These problems need to be overcome, and we have to hydrotreat it in order to get the most efficient use. So it is produced with the addition of hydrogen under elevated temperature. Hydrotreating, you're adding hydrogen with the at elevated temperature and pressure in the presence of a catalyst to produce a renewable diesel. What are you doing? Your bio oil, you're producing renewable diesel, renewable gasoline, and renewable jet fuel. That is good. That is what you want, because you want sources, liquid sources which can be reused. Petroleum will not stay there all the time. Petroleum will extinct one day. It is the non-renewable resource. And gasification. The organic material is heated about 800 to 900 degrees Celsius with injection of controlled amounts of free oxygen or steam. This produces a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen called the syngas, or the synthetic gas, or syngas in short. Gasification की हम बात दोबारा करेंगे, and the syngas is used as a fuel for diesel engines for heating and generating electricity in gas turbines. The syngas which is produced, I talked about the syngas in detail. I also talked about when you get the syngas, when you get the producer gas, what is the difference between the two. And the syngas can also be used to separate the hydrogen from the gas, and then the hydrogen can be used in fuel cells. And not only in the fuel cells, the hydrogen can also be used in the Haber's process. The syngas, one of the main uses of syngas was it can further be processed to produce liquid fuels, as in the Fischer-Tropsch synthesis, which I had showed you before. So Fischer-Tropsch synthesis was also taught in detail. अब हम मेन बात करते हैं thermochemical process of biomass की. When we usually talk about a thermochemical process falls under three main categories. First category is combustion, second category is pyrolysis, third category is gasification. Yes, pyrolysis has different types of processes. You have slow pyrolysis, you have fast pyrolysis, you have flash pyrolysis, you have torrefaction. But all of them come under the term pyrolysis. और pyrolysis दूसरी चीज क्या होती है? Absence of oxygen. तो कहने का मकसद ये हुआ कि थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन प्रोसेस ऑफ बायोमास तीन तरह की होती हैं, जो होगी कंबशन, पायरोलिसिस, गैसिफिकेशन. इनके बाहर नहीं होंगी. So always remember three processes for thermochemical conversion. They can further be subdivided. That is another phenomena as per requirements and condition. So in this diagram, we are seeing that thermal conversion. Combustion, I have told you that it is always done in excess air. Excess air means, and combustion main product is heat. Excess air means there is surplus of oxygen. Surplus of oxygen means that product would be carbon dioxide. तो इधर आपके पास carbon dioxide produce होगी. For pyrolysis, I told you that there is absence of air under an aerobic condition. So no oxygen in pyrolysis. The third process is gasification. If one extreme is excess, second extreme is no, so there has to be some or partial air in gasification, and this is true. क्यों? गैसिफिकेशन का मेन प्रोडक्ट क्या बनता है? सिनगैस. और सिनगैस कैसे बनेगा? सिनगैस क्या होता है? कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोजन. कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड कैसे बनता है? योर फ्यूल कंबाइंस विद पार्शियल ऑक्सीजन. इनकम्प्लीट combustion. So in gasification, there is some amount of oxygen. It is partial oxygen or partial air. Furthermore, in main types of thermal chemical processes for biomass energy, what I want to show you in this diagram, that whatever the source of biomass and whatever route you're taking pyrolysis, you're taking gasification, or you're taking combustion, pre-treatment of the biomass and drying is essential before the process starts. Biomass material contains wet matter. It has vapor in it. That vapor must be dried before the process is done. So the first important process on a biomass source is you dry the source of biomass source. Once you have dried it, then you can do your process, whether you want to take the approach of pyrolysis, whether you want to take the approach of gasification, or whether you want to take the approach of combustion. जो सा मेथड आपने करना है. अब इस डायग्राम से मैं आपको ये दिखाना चाह रहा हूं कि बायोमास थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन यहां भी देखें 3 है. ये पैरालिसिस है. अब ये पैरालिसिस डिवाइड हो जाता है कि स्लो पैरालिसिस है, फास्ट पैरालिसिस है या टोरिफैक्शन है. टोरिफैक्शन इज आल्सो अ टाइप ऑफ पैरालिसिस. तो ये जो 3 है ये एक प्रोसेस है पैरालिसिस की. दूसरा आपका गैसिफिकेशन है, तो ये एक अलग प्रोसेस है. तो ये जो प्रोसेसेस हैं ये किस पे डिपेंड करती हैं? टेम्परेचर के ऊपर, टाइम के ऊपर, स्लो या फास्ट, और उसकी हीटिंग रेट के ऊपर. कंपेयर द पायरोलिसिस, हीटिंग रेट कितनी है? 25. मगर यही हीटिंग रेट फास्ट में कितनी है? तो ये देखा जाता है. So I already told you the main processes discussed are combustion, slow pyrolysis, torrefaction, fast pyrolysis, flash pyrolysis and gasification. उसके बाद the above receive the most attention across the thermochemical platform to produce heat, power, biochar, fuels and chemicals. All of these processes produce some amount of three products that are solid, liquid, gas. आपको मैंने पहले ही कहा था कि थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन प्रोसेस तीनों प्रोडक्ट्स बनाती है. Each process will use a different reaction condition. Whether you're doing combustion, pyrolysis, gasification, each process will use a different reaction condition such as a temperature, pressure, heating rate, residence time, which is the amount of time given for the process, reactive or inert atmosphere, what is the atmosphere around your process, the gas flow rate, to optimize the production and the quality of one or more specific products. First, I would like to talk about combustion. अगर हम combustion की बात करते हैं तो ये देखें, it is important to understand thermochemical process, and for that to occur there are 4 stages of combustion must be understood. ये याद रख लें कि combustion जो हो रही होती है ना वो एक order के अंदर हो रही होती है, और combustion में 4 main stages होते हैं. So if you're writing an answer, you cannot say stage 4 first before stage 1. It is happening in a systematic order in a certain sequence. So there are 4 main stages of combustion which we will talk about. And what is combustion? In general, combustion is the burning in the presence of sufficient oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Sufficient oxygen का मतलब ये हुआ कि oxygen should be minimum at theoretical air condition. यानी 100% मिनिमम होनी चाहिए, और एक्सेस हो तो कोई मसला नहीं है. 100% से कम नहीं होनी चाहिए, वरना वो पार्शियल ऑक्सीडेशन हो जाएगी और कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड प्रोडक्शन होगा. आई शोड यू अ डायग्राम बिफोर on combustion where the air was excess air. Hence the only products of combustion are, the main products are water vapor and carbon dioxide. Okay, this means that the oxidant is minimum at stoichiometric conditions, like I told you. preferable that stoichiometric excess to provide complete oxidation. Some or all of the four steps occur in all of the remaining processes. हम जो तमाम आगे processes करेंगे उसमें कुछ steps होते हैं किस चीज के, ये combustion के, या तो कम extent में होते हैं. अब ये फोर stages क्या हैं, इन पे गौर करते हैं. Stages of combustion of biomass. Most biomass contains some moisture. मैंने आपको प्रीवियसली एक डायग्राम दिखाया था और उस डायग्राम में आपको बताया था कि बायोमास के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ मॉइस्चर होता है. सो द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट स्टेप ऑफ कंबशन इज ड्राइंग. कोई चीज करने से पहले, बिफोर डूइंग एनीथिंग, यू ड्राई दैट बायोमास सोर्स. एज वाटर बॉइल्स एट अ लो टेम्परेचर, वाटर का जो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट होता है वो कम होता है, 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस होता है. सो स्टीम इज द फर्स्ट थिंग टू बी रिमूव्ड. सबसे पहले आप स्टीम रिमूव कर सकते हो क्योंकि वाटर का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम है. सो अ फायर मस्ट बी स्टार्टेड. फायर आप स्टार्ट करते हैं टू रिमूव द स्टीम, बट इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू स्टार्ट एज वाटर इवेपोरेशन इज एन एंडोथर्मिक reaction and requires energy. Water evaporation is endothermic. You will need to provide some energy for it. It takes energy. So energy must be added to a fire before any energy can be extracted from that fire. आपको पहले एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ेगी कि एनर्जी प्रोवाइड कर कर ये प्रोसेस हो जाए वाटर इवेपोरेशन की. एंड वंस द वाटर इवेपोरेशन हैपेंस, देन you can continue that reaction. So the first stage of your biomass production is combustion is drying. You dry, you remove the moisture, water is in low content. Okay, fine, you've done that. And obviously, when your water is removed, your biomass will slightly shrink. The second combustion step is volatilization or pyrolysis. If you remember from your past knowledge of this course, जब हमने आपको ये कोर्स पहले पढ़ाया था तो हम बात कर रहे थे थर्मो वो HTC और LTC में, हाई थर्मल कार्बनाइजेशन ऑफ कोल एंड लो थर्मल कार्बनाइजेशन ऑफ कोल. वहां पर वी डिस्कस्ड वोलेटाइलाइजेशन व्हिच हैपेंड under pyrolytic conditions. This means that volatilization happens in the absence of oxygen. You make your substances volatile. जो आप heat provide कर रहे हो, आपने यहाँ पर फायर स्टार्ट की, वाटर को, जब वाटर ड्राई हो गया, वाटर रिमूव हो गया, you provide the heat. That heat will break the chemical bonds within the biomass. आपके बायोमास के अंदर केमिकल बॉन्ड्स होते हैं. ये हीट उन केमिकल बॉन्ड्स को ब्रेक करता है और आपके जो स्मॉलर मॉलिक्यूल्स होते हैं ना, ऑक्सीजन हो गया, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हो गया, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड हो गया, वाटर हो गया, ये हीट अप करेंगे और वेपराइज हो जाएंगे and escape from the biomass particles. They will heat up and they will escape from the biomass particles, leading to further shrinkage. So first step is drying. Second is you make your smaller molecules volatiles so they can escape from the biomass particles. Number 3, the gas phase oxidation is the third phase, and this is when one sees a flame. आपने जब अपने मॉलिक्यूल्स को वेपराइज कर दिया, यानी आपने गैस बना दी, अब आप उस गैस को ऑक्सीडाइज करोगे. वो जो गैस मॉलिक्यूल्स बने हैं, यू हीट दैट विद द फ्लेम या प्रोवाइड ऑक्सीजन. एंड ये जो स्टेज है ना गैस फेज ऑक्सीडेशन की, यहाँ पर आपको फ्लेम नजर आएगी. As hot volatile molecules leave the bottom, leave the biomass particle, they come in contact with oxygen and burn, oxidize, which will release heat and light. You will get heat over here, you will get light over here. If there is enough oxygen present, the only products are carbon dioxide and water. Complete combustion हो रही है. But if there is not enough oxygen, the volatiles do not burn completely and you will end up with soot, which is not desirable, or a smoky gas या tar. Heavy smoke and tar gas to produce polymerization to soot. So you need complete oxidization. When all the volatile parts of the biomass are oxidized, ये तमाम volatile parts oxidize हो गए हैं, तो पीछे आपके पास क्या रह गया है? You will have the solid part which is known as the shell. This is the final step of combustion. After combusting the gaseous parts for the energy, you focus on the solid part for the energy. The glowing coal still reacts with oxygen. It is glowing, but it reacts with oxygen, but at a slow rate. Why at a slow rate? Because oxygen has to diffuse to the surface of the solid rather than the gas volatiles. गैस वोलेटाइल्स खुद ऑक्सीजन से जाकर मिलते थे. यहां पर क्या होता है, सॉलिड के लिए ऑक्सीजन को डिफ्यूज करना पड़ता है, एंड बिकॉज ऑक्सीजन इज डिफ्यूजिंग, द बर्निंग ऑफ द सॉलिड फेज इज अ मच स्लोअर प्रोसेस देन द gaseous phase. And also because it is slower than the gaseous burning, it will not give a flame. So a difference between stage 3 and stage 4 is you will see a flame in stage 3 because it is a fast process. In stage 4, diffusion takes place, it takes more time, it is a slower process, there is no flame produced. With time, all of the carbon is oxidized. आपने combustion is a time taking process. आपने time दिया, time देने के बाद आपने सारे solid process को combust कर दिया. जब आपने solid को combust कर दिया, कंप्लीट ऑक्सीडाइज कर दिया, तो आपको सिर्फ क्या मिल जाएगा? वो मटेरियल मिल जाएगा जो कंबस्ट नहीं हो सकता या जिसका यूज नहीं है, जिसको हम ऐश बोलते हैं. इफ यू रिमेंबर, all combustion numericals that we did before, they had a certain proportion of ash. Not only that, when we were doing the proximate analysis and the ultimate analysis, we were removing the ash. तो बात क्या हुई? बात ये हुई कि हमें अपनी प्रोसेस के अंदर मैक्सिमाइज करना है अपने बायोमास को यूज करने के लिए. सो इन शॉर्ट, टू मेक द लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, द 4 मेन प्रोसेसेस आर: नंबर 1, ड्राइंग; नंबर 2, volatilization under anaerobic condition, meaning pyrolysis. आप अपने बायोमास का जो रिमेनिंग मैटर है ना, आफ्टर रिमूविंग मैटर वाटर, उसके वोलेटाइलाइज कर लो, हीट प्रोवाइड कर कर उसके केमिकल बॉन्ड्स ब्रेक कर लो. केमिकल बॉन्ड्स ब्रेक होने के बाद स्मॉल मॉलिक्यूल्स जो हैं वो वेपराइज हो जाएंगे, वोलेटाइल हो जाएंगे. वंस पार्ट 3 क्या है? volatilization of the vaporized matter. Not volatilization of the vaporizing matter, oxidation of the vaporized matter. ये जो आपका vaporized matter बन गया है, आप इस vaporized matter को क्या करोगे? आप इस vaporized matter को oxidize करोगे ऑक्सीजन के साथ, और यहां पर आपको एक flame मिलेगी. ऑक्सीडाइज करोगे, और अगर ऑक्सीजन आपके पास ज्यादा है, आपके पास कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा. जब आपने ऑक्सीडाइज कर लिया और तमाम गैसेस आपकी खत्म हो गई, तो आपके पास पीछे सॉलिड रह गया है. दैट इज द 4th स्टेप ऑफ कंबशन, द सॉलिड कंबशन. मगर सॉलिड कंबशन को क्या होता है कि आपको सॉलिड को ऑक्सीडाइज करना होता है, मगर सॉलिड के अंदर ये डिफ्यूज होता है ऑक्सीजन आपका. गैसेस तो खुद उससे जाकर मिल जाती हैं. Because of this diffusion, it is a slow process, and the difference from the third process is no flame is going to be formed. You will maximize the use, you will finish all the carbon, the solid matter that is left, and once it is finished, you will get the ash. And shrinking will continuously take place. I will come to this slide in a bit. I want to show you a biomass particle. Look at the 4 stages. After drying, the water vapor will evaporate. Look at the shrinkage. This is very important to see the shrinkages. Obviously, it is going to shrink because the water vapor has been removed. Then, when the volatiles have been burnt, your volatiles which were produced have been burnt. Look at the color difference. This is black in color because it contains the solid portion only. The solid is what is giving the color to the biomass particle, and the reason it is shrinked because these volatiles have escaped. And color is black. It is only the solid matter which is carbon which is giving the color. And you call this char. Another word for this is char. When the char is combusted, meaning the solid carbon is combusted, look at this very small portion. All your useful material is combusted, provided the energy. All you are left with is this unwanted, unusable form, which is called ash shrinking. So this is an important diagram which gives the process, the 4 stages of a biomass particle when it is going through the combustion process. So you should know how to draw this diagram, you should know how to label this diagram, and you should know the chemistry behind this diagram. As mentioned before, the extent to which each combustion process occurs depends upon the amount of energy available. कितनी energy available है वो matter करता है कि कितने extent के साथ combustion process हो रही है. This means it depends upon the temperature, the amount of oxygen and the residence time of the biomass particle, and the product fractions in oxidizing the atmosphere. Temperature is the most important parameter. Then it depends upon the oxygen and the product fractions के कौन से product हो रहे हैं. Combustion chambers and boilers should have high temperatures and excess of oxygen because you want complete combustion and you do not want the formation of carbon monoxide which can affect your equipment. अब हम बात करते हैं दूसरी प्रोसेस की. कंबशन की बात हो गई है. नाउ वी आर मूविंग ऑन टू पायरोलिसिस. पायरोलिसिस के अंदर आई टोल्ड यू देयर आर 4 टाइप्स ऑफ पायरोलिसिस: स्लो पायरोलिसिस, torrefaction, fast pyrolysis, and flash pyrolysis. What I want you to observe is, in this presentation, I want you to observe 2 things. Number 1, the temperature of each process. Number 2, the product of each process. It is very important to know the product form from each process because it is the product which differentiates one process from the other. For example, slow pyrolysis will have a different major product than fast pyrolysis. Fast pyrolysis will have a different major product from flash pyrolysis. So it is the product which determines the type of pyrolysis on which a student can identify what type of pyrolysis is taking place. यानी एक student determine कर सकता है कि मेरा ये pyrolysis है. मगर common चीज क्या है pyrolysis में? Absence of oxygen. तो अब हम बात करते हैं slow pyrolysis की. Charcoal for heating and other purposes is made by slow pyrolysis. Look at the word charcoal. मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था, charcoal is a form of biomass and charcoal is also made from coal when I was discussing it before. And I also told you the reason why in barbecues you prefer charcoal over coal. Coal burns with a smoky flame. Charcoal is safer. It burns with a smokeless flame. It is preferred for cooking purposes and barbecues. Second point, the calorific value. Third point, cleaner fuel. So these are the points why charcoal is preferred over coal for burning purposes. The heating is done under anaerobic conditions in the absence of oxygen, and the temperature is moderate to high temperature. Slow pyrolysis mein. It is about 500 degrees if I can recall from memory. The process is characterized by, these are the keywords: slow heating rates and long residence time. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आपकी जो heating rate है ना वो slow है. आपने जो टाइम दिया है ना इस प्रोसेस को वो लंबा दिया है, लॉन्ग रेजिडेंस टाइम. इस वजह से इस पायरोलिसिस का नाम आता है स्लो पायरोलिसिस. द नेम इज डिटरमिन्ड फ्रॉम द heating rate and the residence time. A part of the feedstock is combusted. Before you are doing this fast pyrolysis process, slow pyrolysis process, it is essential कि आपका जो बायोमास का फीड स्टॉक है ना पार्ट ऑफ इट इज कंबस्टेड, आप उसको बर्न करो। क्यों बर्न करते हो? क्योंकि आपके पास कोई ऑक्सीजन का सोर्स तो नहीं है ना पैरालिसिस में, आपको कोई सोर्स चाहिए उस रिएक्शन को ड्राइव करने के लिए। कंबशन क्या करता है? कंबशन इज एन एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। कंबशन विल प्रोड्यूस हीट, that heat can be used to initiate and drive the reaction. इसीलिए स्लो पैरालिसिस करने से पहले a part of your feedstock, it can be 5%, it can be 10%, I don't care, I don't know. Simple answer is I don't know how much. It depends upon your requirements, but just a part of it has to be combusted to provide the required heat to initiate and drive your main reaction. तो ये याद रखिएगा। अब आप ये देखें, द गोल ऑफ स्लो पैरालिसिस इज टू प्रोड्यूस अ हाई कार्बन एनर्जी डेंस सॉलिड चार प्रोडक्ट। दिस चार कैन ऑल्सो बी चारकोल, क्योंकि चारकोल प्रोड्यूस होता है, वहां से ये नाम निकला है चार, एंड इट्स मेड फ्रॉम कोल, चारकोल। और इसका जो मेन प्रोडक्ट होता है वो होता है बायोचार, विच इज ऑल्सो अ टाइप ऑफ चारकोल। So the goal of the slow pyrolysis is to produce high carbon energy dense solid product, char product. Side by side इसके co-products निकलते हैं which are a watery low molecule weight acidic liquid called pyroligneous acid या wood tar. ये एक liquid component है, और एक लो एनर्जी कंबस्टिबल गैस प्रोड्यूस होती है। तो वही बात होती है जो मैंने आपको पहले बताई थी कि थर्मोकेमिकल कन्वर्जन में आपके पास तीनों प्रोडक्ट निकलते हैं, सॉलिड निकलता है, लिक्विड निकलता है, गैस निकलती है। अब ये डिपेंडेंट है कि मेजर प्रोडक्ट कौन सा है, दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द प्रोसेस यू आर यूजिंग द मेजर प्रोडक्ट। over here the product is slow pyrolysis, the process is slow pyrolysis. My major product is biochar, which is solid. My co-products are the wood tar, which is a liquid, and a low combustible gas, which is a gaseous product. The biochar is a charcoal. I mentioned before that biochar is a charcoal. It is used for soil amendment. This biochar, it is made from biomass, the name, that is where bio comes from. It is used for soil amendment. It increases the fertility of the soil, it enhances the bacterial activity. यानी ये जो बायोचार होता है ना, ये मेनली सॉइल के अंदर प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस होता है फर्टिलिटी इंप्रूव करने के लिए क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन में। also known as carbonization. Slow pyrolysis is also known as carbonization. Hence, I told you to repeat and go back to the lectures of high thermal carbonization and low thermal carbonization. High, जो मैंने आपको पहले बताए थे। बात समझ आई स्लो पैरालिसिस की? मेन चीजें आपने लिखनी है। मेन प्रोडक्ट क्या है, प्रोसेस किस चीज पे डिपेंडेंट है, कंडीशंस क्या है, गोल क्या है, इनिशिएट कैसे होती है, दैट इज ऑल। Now take a look at biochar production and the cycle of biochar production. Any rocket science. This is your biomass. ये इस बायोमास से ये आपकी feedstock होती है। What happens is you put your feedstock under your pyrolysis reactor under anaerobic conditions at a certain temperature. You will get some products. The main product is biochar. You also get liquid products. You can get bio oil, biofuel. You get a gaseous product, which can be hydrogen, some other gas. These are used elsewhere, not our part. But this biochar is again being used in plants to increase the fertility of the plants. And the whole process is continuing after that. Then we come on to the second stage of pyrolysis, second form of pyrolysis, which is the torrefaction. Torrefaction can be thought of low temperature 200-300 degree Celsius slow pyrolysis. Slow pyrolysis का usual temperature होता है 400 to 500 degree. Look for torrefaction 200 to 300 degrees. That is one way how you can differentiate torrefaction with the slow pyrolysis. Second thing, because it is slow pyrolysis, what can we say? it will have a slow heating rate and a long residence time. क्योंकि slow paralysis किस पे dependent था? Slow heating rate पे, long residence time पे. Or it is viewed as an incomplete carbonization and is known as roasting. ये प्रोसेस को हम रोस्टिंग भी बोलते हैं और इनकम्प्लीट कार्बनाइजेशन बोलते हैं. अगर आपसे ये पूछा जाए कि व्हाई इज इट इनकम्प्लीट कार्बनाइजेशन, it is incomplete carbonization because the temperature is very low, 200 and 200 to 300 degrees centigrade. We do not provide enough heat for complete carbonization to take place. Carbonization takes place around 400 to 500 degrees or even more. So this is not enough temperature. So it is known as roasting. Due to this, a lot of volatiles are left behind in charcoal. यानी आपका जो प्रोडक्ट आपको मिलता है ना चारकोल, इस प्रोडक्ट से भी आपको चारकोल टाइप ऑफ चारकोल मिलेगा, मगर उस चारकोल के अंदर बहुत सारे वोलेटाइल्स प्रोड्यूस होंगे, रहेंगे जाएंगे. पायरोलिसिस का काम क्या होता है? वोलेटाइलाइजेशन, रिमूव द वोलेटाइल्स. अभी आपने कंबशन में पढ़ा था कि वोलेटाइलाइजेशन प्रोसेस कैसे हो रही होती है पायरोलिसिस. तो क्योंकि आपकी कार्बनाइजेशन कंप्लीट नहीं हो रही है, योर कार्बनाइजेशन इज इनकम्प्लीट, you will be left with a lot of volatiles. An example of torrefaction is the roasting of coffee beans. Coffee beans is the best example of torrefaction. It removes water and some volatiles from biomass, making the biomass easier to grind, transport, and store. The products are more or less the same as for regular slow pyrolysis. यानी आपको एक solid component मिलेगा, liquid component मिलेगा, gas product मिलेगा. Except ये देखें, the solid product is browner in color instead of black. What does that mean? इसकी मीनिंग पे बाद में आते हैं. पहले तो ये देखें, ये जो आपको ब्राउन प्रोडक्ट मिल रहा है ये भी अच्छा है, because the brown char is, it's brown char, it is easy to grind, it has a high energy density, you want that. Then biomass, and it is slightly hydrophobic, which makes it less likely to absorb water. As a result, it is less likely to decay in storage. This brown char does not decay in storage because of its hydrophobic properties. It has a high energy density than biomass. That is also good. It has a high energy efficiency, which is also good. But the drawback is that the volatiles are lower in yield. That is because of incomplete carbonization. तो आपके पास जो lower volatiles हैं वो अभी हैं, which is not good. But my question was, what is the difference between the product of torrefaction and slow pyrolysis? अगर आपने slow pyrolysis का product देखा, that was biochar, a type of charcoal. If you looked at the product of torrefaction, it was also a type of char. The only difference is the color is brown instead of black. From our initial lectures, I told you that the darker color means it is more energy dense because it has more carbon content. If it has more carbon content, it has a greater calorific value, a greater heating value, a greater energy source, a better source of fuel. बात समझ आई? तो इसीलिए उसकी कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू ज्यादा होगी स्लो पायरोलिसिस की कंपेयर टू this brown product of torrefaction because of the greater number of carbon content. आपने जब, और दूसरा रीजन ये कि स्लो पैरालिसिस के अंदर ग्रेटर कार्बन कंटेंट क्यों होता है भाई? torrefaction is incomplete carbonization. You do not burn all the carbon, you are left with volatiles, so that is decreasing the color intensity. Slow pyrolysis में biochar is mostly carbon, there is a dark black color, good calorific value. So these are things you should know, you should be able to analyze, and you should link your chapter 1 with this chapter, because our entire concept is based on the previous learnings that we did. अब आ जाएं फास्ट पैरालिसिस. यहां पर डिफरेंस आता है. Like slow, this is common with slow paralysis or any paralysis for that matter. Like slow paralysis, the heating of biomass is in the absence of oxygen. Difference क्या आता है? Unlike slow paralysis, fast paralysis uses high heating rate, short residence time. Slow paralysis was slow heating rate, long residence time. Fast is opposite of that. Secondly, rapid quenching of vapors to maximize the production of liquid product bio oil. Slow paralysis में your main product was a solid product called biochar. Fast paralysis में your main product is bio oil. Please note the difference. And because bio oil is produced, you need to maximize your product. And how would you maximize it? There is a process called quenching. Quenching is a cooling process in which you do what? Cool down your vapors that are produced, and so you maximize your product. This quenching is only possible in fast pyrolysis, or only used in fast pyrolysis, because your main product is bio oil, a liquid product. So those were the two major differences, the difference of the rate and the residence time, and the difference of the products. अब before I go further on fast pyrolysis, हम जब बात करते हैं ना कोई भी प्रोसेस की, दो तरह की प्रोसेसेस होती हैं. एक आपकी होती है थर्मोडायनेमिक कंट्रोल प्रोडक्ट प्रोसेस, दूसरी आपकी होती है काइनेटिक कंट्रोल प्रोसेस. I will not go in the kinetic control processes as yet, because the kinetic control processes you will do in a later course called the CRE, the chemical reaction kinetics. मगर मुझे कहने का मकसद यह है, what I'm trying to make you understand is that fast pyrolysis highlights the difference between the two processes. How? Thermodynamic controlled process, the reactants and products are allowed sufficient contact time to reach thermal equilibrium. So slow pyrolysis, you give it sufficient contact time and temperature to reach equilibrium. Hence, slow pyrolysis is a thermodynamic pyrolysis. It does not depend upon the rate. Slow pyrolysis has a slow heating rate. The final distribution of products will depend upon the process conditions like temperature and pressure, but not on the reaction rate. But slow pyrolysis represents thermodynamic controlled reaction. Fast pyrolysis is kinetic based controlled reaction. It does not depend upon the temperature and pressure. So the amount of char or gas product varies with temperature, pressure, and feedstock, but would be the same regardless. This is for slow pyrolysis. So always remember, this is another difference, that a slow pyrolysis is for a thermodynamic process controlled reaction. Fast pyrolysis is for a kinetic controlled process reaction. Like I told you, there was a goal for slow pyrolysis. There is also a goal for fast pyrolysis. A fast pyrolysis will also have a goal, and the goal of fast pyrolysis is to create and separate vapors as quickly as possible before they can condense. You need to create the vapors of bio oil as quickly as possible before they can condense and carbonize, because secondary char will crack into low molecular weight non-condensable gases. मैंने आपको क्या बताया, आपका जो मेन प्रोडक्ट था वो बायो ऑयल होना चाहिए. अगर आपने उसको कंडेंस नहीं किया अपने वेपर्स को, तो वो कार्बनाइज हो जाएंगे. क्यों कार्बनाइज हो जाएंगे? यहां पर टेम्परेचर हाई है, तो कार्बनाइजेशन विल टेक प्लेस. और अगर वो कार्बनाइजेशन हो गई तो सेकेंडरी चार प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा, या लो मॉलिक्यूलर वेट कंडेंसेबल गैसेस प्रोड्यूस हो जाएंगी, आपको लिक्विड नहीं मिलेगा. तो इस प्रोसेस के अंदर मेन गोल है कि जैसे ही वेपर्स बनते हैं आप उनको कंडेंस कर लो लिक्विड फॉर्म में, यू कंडेंस देम इनटू बायोफ्यूल्स so that you can maximize your product. This is why you do quenching. अब बात समझ आई when I talked about quenching in this process. So keep that in mind that this is why you do quenching and fix this process. अब देखें, fast pyrolysis wants to avoid temperature equilibrium because it's kinetic based. This is accomplished to a high rate of heat transfer to the biomass, which cause the direct drying and volatilization steps to occur instantaneously. आमतौर पे क्या होता है कि ड्राइंग एंड वोलेटाइलाइजेशन सेपरेटली हो रहे होते हैं. फास्ट पायरोलिसिस के अंदर ये साइमल्टेनियसली वन स्टेप में हो जाएंगे. सो टेम्परेचर इक्विलिब्रियम होगा नहीं, आपके पास आपका लिक्विड फ्यूल बन जाएगा. To maximize या achieve a maximum yield of oil, the fast pyrolysis reactors are designed to achieve moderate temperatures and vapor residence time of no more than a few seconds. The design parameters have made that the reaction rate is residence time is just a few seconds. So that is all for fast pyrolysis. If I give you this diagram, you will instantly know that this is a diagram for the fast pyrolysis because quenching takes place. This gives you a clue. Bio oil is the main product. That does not mean that some char will not be produced or some gas will not be produced. All thermochemical processes will produce all three products, but what the process is happening determines the main product. तो गैस भी प्रोड्यूस हो रही है, बायो ऑयल भी प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, चार भी प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. प्लस मैंने आपको बताया था कि अगर आप क्वेंचिंग नहीं करोगे तो कुछ ना कुछ चार वैसे ही प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है और गैस प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. पर ये आपको मालूम है कि बायो ऑयल की प्रोसेस है बिकॉज ऑफ क्वेंचिंग. योर बायोमास, आई टोल्ड यू द फर्स्ट स्टेप वाज ड्राइंग. यू ड्राई द बायोमास, you put it in the grinder, easier to put in grinded feed, ground feed, in the pyrolysis reactor, give it a sufficient temperature, very fast process, minutes of seconds residence time, remove your products, quench it, bio oil produce. Now let us talk about this product of bio oil. Bio oil होता क्या है, क्योंकि पहले भी मैंने आपको बताया था कि bio oil needs to be hydrogenated. And why was bio oil being hydrogenated? I told you that it contained some unfavorable substances in it, which was why it was being what? Treated. So let us look at bio oil. Bio oil is formed from fast pyrolysis. हमने agree कर लिया, we have agreed that bio oil is the main component of fast pyrolysis. It is a complicated mixture of water and oxygenated organic compounds. Bio oil is a mixture of water, यानी bio oil में water भी होगा और complicated oxygenated compounds भी होंगे. इसका मतलब जो जो चीजें bio oil बना रही है उसमें oxygen का contribution होगा. These include organic acids. Acids have oxygen in it. Aldehydes, they have oxygen in it. Alcohol have the oxygen group in it. Furan, furan is a 4-cyclic carbon chain linked with oxygen. Pyrin, 6-carbon cyclic ring linked with oxygen. Anhydrous sugars, sugars oxygen. Aromatics, they have oxygen. So all components which make up bio oil will either have oxygen in it and water. Approximately, it has been discovered by scientists that 300 compounds have been identified in bio oil from the decomposition of hemicellulose, cellulose, lignin. These are plant matters. They make the cell wall of plants. Currently, bio oil is used as a heavy oil replacement. What is heavy oil? You will look in Petroleum Refinery Limited, PRE. Petroleum Refinery Limited. You will look at it in Petroleum Refinery Engineering, the course in your 8th semester. So currently, bio oil is used as a heavy oil replacement in commercial boilers and steam turbines for heating and electricity. It is a bio-renewable feedstock for gasification and as a petroleum replacement in production of asphalt. Asphalt, another name is bitumen to make roads. Petroleum is a non-renewable resource. Asphalt is non-renewable. Bio oil is a renewable resource. So the world is moving towards the bio oil as a renewable resource. As the feedstock for the production of organic chemicals and transportation fuels, bio-oil has been compared to crude petroleum in that it can provide a wide variety of products, but it requires fractionation and upgrading. Bio-oil जो होता है ना, वो क्रूड पेट्रोलियम की तरह कंपेयर होता है. क्यों? उसको उससे आपके पास तमाम प्रोडक्ट मिल सकते हैं. When you have crude petroleum, fractionation means dividing that petroleum into fraction. The broad name is petroleum. Petroleum can be categorized in gases, gasoline, naphtha, diesel, kerosene, jet oil, light oil, heavy oil, residue, bitumen, waxes. These are all different fractions. So similarly, bio oil can also be divided into different fractions. But it is essential for bio oil to be divided into fractions, and after dividing into fraction is upgrading. Another name for upgrading is refining. So in short, what I'm trying to tell you is that bio oil must be refined. आप बायो ऑयल उसके जिस तरह से वो प्रोड्यूस होता है उस तरह यूज नहीं कर सकते. बायो ऑयल कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड इन इट्स रॉ फॉर्म. It needs to be upgraded. Why it cannot be used in its raw form, I will tell you. But it needs to be upgraded. So always remember that the bio oil that you produce needs to be upgraded and fractionated. Now, why? There are three differences between crude oil and bio oil which pose a problem for its direct use in refineries. Why is bio oil problematic to directly be used in refineries? ये क्या है? Bio oil contains a greater water content, oxygen content and high acidity compared to regular petroleum. यानी बायो ऑयल मैंने आपको कहा था ना, पानी से बनता है और ऑक्सीजनेटेड कंपाउंड से बनता है एंड ऑब्वियसली एसिड्स होंगे. सो बायो ऑयल के अंदर देयर इज अ ग्रेट वाटर कंटेंट, देयर इज ग्रेट ऑक्सीजन कंटेंट, इट इज हाईली एसिडिक इन नेचर. ये तो मेन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, बायो ऑयल इज हाईली अनस्टेबल. ये अनस्टेबल होता है स्पेशली व्हेन स्टोर्ड एट हाई टेम्परेचर्स. सो बायो ऑयल कैन नॉट बी स्टोर्ड अंडर हाई टेम्परेचर कंडीशंस. इट अच्छा तो क्यों नहीं होता? It tends to separate into aqueous and hydrophobic phases. जो आपका बायो ऑयल है ना, वो ब्रेकअप होना शुरू हो जाता है अपने एक्वस और हाइड्रोफोबिक फेजेस के अंदर. यानी आपका जो लिक्विड हाइड्रोफिलिक फेजेस है वो एक तरफ चला जाता है, हाइड्रोफोबिक फेजेस दूसरी तरफ चले जाते हैं. इसके अंदर हाई एसिडिटी एंड ऑक्सीजन होती है. I have already mentioned that bio oil is made from oxygen compounds and acidic compounds. What do? They catalyze polymerization reactions. They start initiating polymerization reactions, and this increases the oil viscosity. And you do not want a high viscous oil. A high viscous oil will not flow. A high viscous oil will have low API gravity. You do not want low API gravity. तो ये इसकी एक प्रॉब्लम होती है. तो आपने इसको ओवरकम करना होता है. एंड टू ओवरकम दिस high oil viscosity problem, the research aim to improve the bio oil properties include collection oil system designs to separate the oil in fractions, catalytic reforming of aqueous bio oil to produce hydrogen, and bio oil upgrading through hydrogenation to remove carboxylic acid and oxygen. हमने आपको पहले बताया था कि बायो ऑयल प्रोडक्शन के अंदर तीन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. एक तो ये कि बायो ऑयल हैज अ लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर, इट हैज अ लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, इट हैज अ लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ एसिड कंटेंट. सो बायो ऑयल कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड एज इट इज. हाउ डू यू यूज बायो ऑयल? बायो ऑयल नीड्स टू बी सेपरेटेड ऑयल इन फ्रैक्शन. आपका जो बायो ऑयल है ना, आपने उसको क्रूड ऑयल की तरह फ्रैक्शनेट करना पड़ेगा. आपको उसको उसके सेक्शंस में डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा. उसके अलावा आपको उसकी रिफॉर्मिंग करनी पड़ेगी, विच इज अपग्रेडिंग, जो मैं अभी बात कर रहा था. रिफाइनिंग, अपग्रेडिंग, रिफॉर्मिंग. सो यू नीड टू कैटालिटिकली रिफॉर्म योर बायो ऑयल to produce hydrogen. आप हाइड्रोजन प्रोड्यूस करते हो. एंड तो ये दूसरी प्रोसेस हो गई. पहली प्रोसेस है फ्रैक्शनेट योर बायो ऑयल. सेकेंड प्रोसेस इज catalytically refine your reform your bio oil to produce hydrogen. Third is you upgrade your bio oil through hydrogenation. Ye, remember when we were doing hydrothermal treatment, over there it said hydrogenation of bio oil. So that time I told you, I will tell you this later. आप ये हाइड्रोजनेशन क्यों करते हो या ये हाइड्रोथर्मल ट्रीटमेंट क्यों करते हो? आप ये हाइड्रोजनेशन इसलिए करते हो ताकि आप कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड एंड ऑक्सीजन को रिमूव कर लो. दिस इज कॉल्ड द अपग्रेडिंग, द ट्यूनिंग. You tune, या you upgrade, या you refine your bio oil so that it can become more useful. So what are the three? So I repeat, to make the long story short, three problems of bio oil: water content, acid content, oxygen content. Three ways to overcome the problems: number one, fractionation; number two, reforming, catalytic reforming to produce hydrogen; and number three, hydrotreating. Hydrotreating will remove the acids and the oxygen. Now I would like you to look at this process and please understand this. Again, the initial stage is photosynthesis. The sun reacts with the water with CO2. This reaction takes place by the plants by photosynthesis. The plants would then contain biomass. What do we do with biomass? We take it into a fast pyrolysis reactor. Look over here, bio oil, it is fast pyrolysis and bio oil upgrading. Let us ignore bio oil upgrading at the minute. We put it into the fast pyrolysis reactor. What happens in the fast pyrolysis reactor? Your main product is bio oil. यानी आपको जो आपका मेन प्रोडक्ट मिला है वो बायो ऑयल मिला है. मगर ये बायो ऑयल क्या है? This bio oil has a lot of problems. Problem number one, high viscosity. High viscosity. Problem number two, storage problems. Cannot be stored at high temperature. Problem number three, oxygen compounds. Problem number four, low pH, acidic in nature. Problem number five, low heating value. Problem number six, it cannot be commercialized in its raw form. तो ये तमाम प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं आपके बायो ऑयल के अंदर जब आप फास्ट पायरोलिसिस करते हो. When you do fast pyrolysis, so what do we need to do? We need to upgrade the bio oil. That is why it is fast pyrolysis and bio oil upgrading. Once we, how do we upgrade it? Look at this bubble over here. We do physical upgrading. We do catalytic and chemical processes. Catalytic reforming, hydrogenation. So these processes are done. So once you have done upgraded your bio oil, आपने अपने bio oil को upgrade कर लिया, उसके बाद you can use it as a biofuel in car engines, renewable source of biodiesel, biogasoline, biojet fuel. So you can use it in engines once it is upgraded. Without this upgrading, to overcome these problems, this thing cannot be used. So once you have used it as your biofuel, created your biofuel, it can be used in vehicles and factories. And as it is being used in vehicles and factories, what happens? Factories and vehicles, they give out the exhaust gases. What are the main exhaust gases? Carbon dioxide. When this carbon dioxide goes into the atmosphere, the cycle is going to repeat and photosynthesis would take place. So this is the whole process of biomass production, fast pyrolysis to produce bio-oil. Bio-oil needs to be upgraded to produce biofuel. And once biofuel is formed, it is used in vehicles and factories. And after being used in vehicles and factories, the carbon dioxide escapes into the atmosphere. So that is the cycle of the bio-oil production. So these things are very important, that bio-oil has some problems in them. What are the problems? And this column is also important, how to overcome and upgrade those problems. Whatever I mentioned in the previous slides. अब एक और टाइप ऑफ पैरालिसिस आता है जिसको हम फ्लैश पैरालिसिस बोलते हैं. Flash paralysis is a batch paralysis done in batches. It uses moderate pressures 2 to 25 atm to minimize reaction time and maximize biocarbon yield. Maximize biocarbon yield. Minimize reaction time. Minimize reaction time means it is closer to fast pyrolysis. Torrefaction was closer to slow pyrolysis. पर यहां पर तो आप अपने रिएक्शन टाइम को कम कर रहे हो, सो इट इज फास्ट क्लोजर टू फास्ट pyrolysis. And maximize biocarbon yield, which shows it is different from flash pyrolysis, which is different from fast pyrolysis and slow pyrolysis, because the main product is biocarbon. Please note this difference. Main product, biocarbon. Okay. The biomass is placed into canister. Canisters are cylindrical cylinders in industries which you use and are loaded into a high pressure chamber. You provide compressed air in the chamber and the reaction starts by electric heaters. Electric heater देते हैं bottom of the reactor को to initiate the reaction. Energy provide कर रहे हो, heat provide कर रहे हो. तो क्योंकि bottom पे आप heat provide कर रहे हो, the biomass at the bottom will start to burn first. Then it will heat the biomass above it. After about 30 to 45 minutes, all the oxygen in the chamber is depleted. Anaerobic conditions हो गई. And all of the biomass is converted to biocarbon. That is your main product of flash pyrolysis. Vented gases, देखें, main product are biocarbon but side products are made. The vented gases are sent to a burner to produce heat and electricity. You are using your gases as a source of heat and electricity. The increased pressure shifts the thermodynamic equilibrium to produce more char. अगर आप प्रेशर इंक्रीज करोगे तो आपके पास ज्यादा चार प्रोड्यूस होगा, बिकॉज इट इंक्रीज द रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन. ओवरऑल रेट है वो स्लाइटली स्लोअर देन कंटिन्यूअस फास्ट पायरोलिसिस प्रोसेस है. सो फ्लैश पायरोलिसिस इज इन बिटवीन स्लो पायरोलिसिस एंड फास्ट पायरोलिसिस. Flash pyrolysis is way faster than slow pyrolysis, but only slightly less fast than the fast pyrolysis. तो ये आपकी पैरालिसिस हो गई थी. अब हम गैसिफिकेशन की बात करते हैं. Gasification I have told you in detail. As the name implies, primary product of gasification is non-condensable gasification. For this topic, I would like you to read your syngas production also, where I talked about the gasifiers, whether it's counter gasifier, counter type, or the other type of gasifiers. Please look over there. So as the name implies, the primary product of gasification is non-condensable gas. The process is at high temperature in the presence of some oxygen. Important word, some oxygen, because you need to form syngas. Syngas is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. The product gas is either the synthetic gas or the producer gas. That depends upon the oxygen source and amount of nitrogen. आपके पास दो तरह की गैस प्रोड्यूस हो सकती हैं गैसिफिकेशन में. You can either get the syngas or the producer gas. The difference is the producer gas contains nitrogen. Syngas does not contain nitrogen. If you're using air as a source of oxygen, you will get producer gas. If you're using steam and pure oxygen, you will get what? Syngas, CO plus H2. Gasification is similar to combustion. आपका जो गैसिफिकेशन होता है वो कंबशन के सिमिलर होता है, बट इसमें लैक ऑफ ऑक्सीजन है तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वेपर नहीं प्रोड्यूस होता. कंबशन के अंदर ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा होता है, एक्सेस में होता है, तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वेपर प्रोड्यूस होता है। एक आइडियल गैसिफिकेशन सिचुएशन है, उसमें रिएक्शन रेट थर्मोडायनेमिकली कंट्रोल्ड होती है, बट हकीकत में देयर इज नो सच थिंग एज आइडियल गैसिफिकेशन। The gas composition and carbon conversion can be predicted on the basis of temperature and pressure, and only co-product is char. यानी इधर भी आपके पास co-product आएगा, your co-product is char, not the main product. Your main product of gasification is the gas. Reality में क्या होता है? Viscous sticky tars are produced as there is not sufficient time for reaction to reach equilibrium. हमारे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है इक्विलिब्रियम रीच करने का. दैट इज व्हाई आई एम सेइंग देयर इज नो आइडियल गैसिफिकेशन सिचुएशन. The oxygen required for gasification can come from air or from a mixture of steam and oxygen, as I told you. This determines whether you're getting a producer gas or whether you're getting a synthetic gas. Steam and oxygen as a source has three main advantages. Why we prefer steam and oxygen over the air? Firstly, the product gas stream is not diluted with nitrogen. If we use air, our product stream will be diluted with nitrogen. Secondly, the steam can easily be separated. The steam can easily be separated from gas via condensation. आप कंडेंसेशन कर कर अपनी स्टीम को सेपरेट आसानी से कर सकते हो गैस से. एयर के अंदर सेपरेशंस में प्रॉब्लम आ जाती हैं. एंड लास्टली, आई टोल्ड यू दैट इन सिन गैस रिएक्शन there is one gas which is the water gas shift reaction. The water gas shift reaction takes place only in syngas reaction. Water gas shift reaction does not take place with producer gas. एक रिएक्शन होता था ना वाटर गैस शिफ्ट रिएक्शन, जिसके अंदर आप क्या करते थे? कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड को किससे रिएक्ट करते थे? वाटर से रिएक्ट करते थे. क्या करने के लिए? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोजन प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए. कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड प्लस water produces hydrogen and carbon dioxide. And what was this water gas shift reaction? It sacrificed a carbon monoxide molecule to produce one hydrogen molecule. The ratio of hydrogen to carbon increased. So this water gas shift reaction is not possible if you're using air as a source of oxygen. Hence steam and oxygen is preferred. Hence you prefer what? You prefer syngas production. तो बात समझ आई? And the only downside of gasification is that the gasifying equipment is expensive. That further adds to the cost. And I told you the two main goals that industry looks at is efficiency and costs. Uses of syngas, we mentioned it before. Alternative to natural gas. Syngas, methane. When you're doing a syngas production, you also get a methanation reaction. So you're producing methane. So your syngas can be used to replace the natural gas. The methane can be used to replace natural gas, as natural gas is a non-renewable resource. Number two, it is used as transportation fuels, and chemicals are synthesized from synthetic gas. It can be used as transport and you can make chemicals. Number three, methanol is produced from syngas. If you remember, when we were doing syngas production, there were two methods being done. Two indirect methods. One was the syngas production. Second was, both included syngas production. One was the FT synthesis. The second one was what? Methanol being produced, the liquid fuel from syngas. So methanol, which can be used in various industries, is a product. It produces hydrogen, and the hydrogen can be used for the Haber's process. syngas हाइड्रोजन प्रोड्यूस करता है. मैंने पहले भी इसको मेंशन किया था कि जो हाइड्रोजन प्रोड्यूस होता है वो हाबर्स प्रोसेस में यूज हो जाता है. लास्टली, एफटी सिंथेसिस uses syngas to produce diesel. syngas से your second route is FT synthesis. FT synthesis का मेन प्रोडक्ट रिएक्शन मैंने आपको बताया था. Please go back on that lecture of syngas production. And FT synthesis say you produce diesel. Next, I would like to give you a summary of thermochemical processes. This chart clearly helps you in determining the different types of processes. So, for example, if you were asked to identify these processes: combustion, slow pyrolysis, torrefaction, fast pyrolysis, flash pyrolysis, gasification, and if some information was given to you, you could tell me that how is this process linked to what. For example, if this is A and the only column available to you is heat, primary product, you can say that A is a combustion process because the primary product is heat. Similarly, if bio oil is given, you can say it is fast pyrolysis. Or if seconds is given, then you know it's fast pyrolysis, because the temperature of pyrolysis is more or less close together, 400 to 600, or this range can be changed, 400 to 600. So the way how to identify which process is being used is the products. Syngas is used in gasification. Biocarbon, flash pyrolysis. Biocarbon or simply char. Bio oil is always fast pyrolysis. Stabilized, friable biomass, or you can say brown char, that is for torrefaction. Char, or you can say biochar. Biochar is a better word, is for slow pyrolysis. Heat is for combustion. The second thing which gives the clue is the temperature ranges. For example, the lowest temperature is for torrefaction. That is why it is roasting. Then you have the heating rate. Very fast is always for fast pyrolysis. So the heating rate gives the clue. Pressure is another parameter to give clue, as well as residence time. Look at the residence time for fast pyrolysis, seconds. Flash is minutes. Slow is hours to days. Torrefaction is even slower. But torrefaction is not as slow pyrolysis, because slow pyrolysis requires a long time. So hidden data provided can help you to extract information to identify your main products and with a suitable reasoning. So that is all in summary for thermochemical conversions. And till next time, have a good day. Thank you.